Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another GameMaker tutorial. Now, really quick, I just wanted to mention this is my plug. I just finished my Udemy course, and there's a link in the description if you'd like a discount on that for the next 6 days now. You can get the course for 50% off. So check out that link in the description if it's something that you would be interested in. Let's get right to the project. In this example, I'm going to show you how you could do a basic push mechanic for a game. So I'm going to run my example project over here so you guys can see. This is just a basic example of the game, and you can see I've got a little character. I can move around in this room, slide against walls, and I can push these bricks around and push them up against walls. So it's a pretty basic pushing game. You can't push two blocks at once. If they come up to against each other like this, you can't push them. And there's really not that much to it, but I wanted to show you guys how you could do something like this. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the issues. I'm going to move my mic just a bit. That could come up with something like this. So I've created an example project here. You can see I've got a sprite that's just 32 by 32 of the character, the block that we're going to be pushing, and then a darker block that's going to represent the wall that we can't push. So, and I created corresponding objects for each of these, but none of the objects have any code yet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make the block a child. Let's see. We're going to make it a child of the wall. So we're going to give it a parent of the wall. So now this block is a child of the wall. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to actually create a script just to open up the player object and add an event, add a create event, drag over a code action from the control tab, and we're going to initialize our player object with some basic variables. We're just going to do hspeed equals 0. Initialize the player object. hspeed equals 0, vspeed equals 0, speed equals 4. Now we'll give him a move speed of 4. That's pretty good. Now that we've got that done, we're going to press our green check mark and we're going to add a new script. And this script is going to be how we move our character around in the room. And we're going to use the hspeed and vspeed variables that are associated with the character. So we're going to do, I'm just going to call it move. There we go. We're going to do, we're going to separate the horizontal and vertical movement a little bit here, because that's normally what you want to do. Horizontal movement, if place meeting x plus h speed. And this is pretty standard stuff that I do in my platform games, only this one doesn't have gravity. Y object wall. So if we're meeting with the object wall in the next step, wherever h speed is, we're trying to predict where we're going to be going. If we're meeting with the wall, we want to move up against it instead of going inside of it. So we're going to do a while loop, while not place meeting x plus sine of h speed, because we only want to do one pixel at a time. Y object wall. Then we're going to do x plus equals sine h speed, like that. And after that while loop, we're going to set the h speed to 0. Like that. We're going to copy this for vertical movement. Now, just so you guys know, a lot of the time people struggle because I copy and paste stuff in my tutorials and then they miss forgetting to change stuff. So I'm going to make sure I clarify what things I change. Vertical movement. And I guess we don't really need 3. That doesn't matter. So now we're going to change this. Remove the plus h speed there. Go over to the y and do plus v speed. And we're going to do the same thing in the next one. Right here, remove the sine plus h speed. Remove that. Come over to the y, plus sine v speed. If I can spell sine right. Let's just start over. There we go. And then we're going to remove the x plus equals sine 8 h speed right here. We're going to change that to y plus equals sine v speed. There we go. We're going to change this to v speed equals 0. And now we actually need to move our objects. So we're going to do x plus equals h speed there, right after the horizontal movement. And you have to do it right after there. Don't do it after the vertical movement. And then we're going to do y plus equals v speed right here. There we go. Our move script is ready. Did I not name it? Phone's buzzing. Move. There we go. Now it's named. Well, we'll call it script move. SCR move. Okay. Now we need to add a step event to our player object, and we're going to move the object like this. So call script move. There we go. Our object should be able to move around in the room now. So one other thing, I also created a room, basic room, 640 by 360 with the objects in it, some walls, and a block. So let's run it. Our move should work now, which is kind of some of the setup that we need. I just wanted to... It doesn't work. And I feel kind of silly because the reason it doesn't work is because we didn't get input from the user. So come back into our player, go into the step event. I'm going to show you a shortcut way to get input from the player. Move. Get input. Here we go. Shortcut way to get input. H speed equals keyboard check VK right minus keyboard check. Let's make this bigger so you guys can see it better. Keyboard check VK left, and then we're going to times it by the speed. V speed, and okay, that's good, equals keyboard check VK down minus keyboard check VK up times speed. Now make sure you get the parentheses in the right spot here, because this is tricky. These parentheses are kind of a weird spot. You've got two parentheses after each function, like this, and then parentheses around the whole thing. And that's important, because if you don't do that, then it's not going to work. So now if we hit F5, our game should run. We should be able to move the character around in the room, slide against walls. Well, that's not right. Object wall. Let's come into our move. Man, I'm struggling, aren't I? Object wall. If place meeting x plus h speed object wall sign. That all looks good there. Did I not put wall objects in my room? That is the question. Could these possibly be? No, those are wall objects. That is so strange. Object wall. So we're setting the h speed and the v speed from the inputs, which works. But our actual movement, h speed, h speed, h speed, h speed, v speed. If place meeting. Oh, it's because this. Oh. I always do that every time. Every time. I probably should just change the names of these because I always type them wrong. So make sure that they're typed correctly because I missed it. Every time. I always have that issue at least once. It's good though because you guys can see it then. Okay. There we go. Now we're hitting the walls correctly. We're not floating through them. You can see we can move up against the crate or the block, but we can't move it. That's because it's a child of the wall parent, or of the wall, so we act like it is a wall. But we want to be able to push it, but not go through it. So that's why it's a child of the wall. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create... trying to decide how best to do this. We're going to create a script called scr push. New script scr push. There we go. And we're going to put some horizontal code in here, which is going to be, well, let's do this horizontal push. We're going to do if place meeting x plus h speed divided by 2. You'll see why I'm dividing by 2 here. I don't think you need to actually, as h speed. Y, and we'll do object block. Okay, we need to get, so we're checking to see if there's a block next to us horizontally, right? What we need to do now is get access to that block if there is, right? So if there is a block next to us, how can we get access to that block? Well, there's a nice little function inside of GameMaker called instance place. So we're going to do var block equals instance place x plus h speed object block. So it's going to check just over to the right of, am I missing? I'm missing my Y. There's an airplane flying right over the house. Okay, so it's going to check just to the right of the character for an instance of object block. If there is one, then it's going to assign the ID of that instance to our var block. It's really nice. We can get access to a different object in GameMaker without actually colliding with it. We can just check to see if we would collide with it. That's what we're doing here. Then once we've done that, we can do with block. Oh, I see what I did now. Object block. So we want to do something with the block, right? Which is we want to move it. So let's do h speed divided by equals 2. So we're doing that so that we cut the player's h speed in half if we're pushing the block, so the player will move slower while pushing blocks. But we're going to need to modify our move script a little bit. So we're going to actually pass in some arguments into this move script. So we're going to pass in a horizontal speed and a v speed. Why are we doing that? Well, it's going to let the block use this code without actually having a horizontal or a vertical speed. So once we've passed those in, we need to get access to them. So var h speed equals argument 0. Var v speed equals argument 1. Now we can get access to those, and then it's automatically just going to use the ones that we pass in. So we need to change the way our player moves a little bit. Open up the player object, go into the step event, and we need to pass in our h speed and our v speed. Now that we've changed the script so that it takes a horizontal speed and a v speed, we need to pass those in, okay? Which is awesome, because now let's look at, we want to move the block. Well, we can use the same move script to move the block now that our player uses. So we can do with block script move, and we'll pass in an h speed and a v speed. So the with operator just allows us to run a code inside of the block object. Except we don't want to do object block, we just want to do block. Sorry, object block would try and move every block in the room. But this variable block right here is the ID of the block that's next to us. So it's a specific block. So script move, and then we can do player dot, or let's see, object player dot h speed divided by 2 for the horizontal movement. And then for the vertical movement, we're just going to pass 0 for the V speed. H speed is half the player's speed. Vertical speed is 0. Sweet. Now we're going to copy this thing. We're going to call this vertical push. And we're going to change the plus H speed to plus V speed. We're going to change the plus H speed to plus V speed here as well. Make sure you get all these. We're going to change the movement of the horizontal speed to 0. And now the vertical speed is going to be object player dot H speed divided by 2. And our vertical speed is going to be set to 2, like that. So we've got our vertical push code and our horizontal push code. Now we just need to run it inside of our player object step event. So open up the step event, and you want to run it before you move. So push script push, and we don't need to pass any arguments into it. Let's press F5 and run our game, see if this works. Then I'll show you guys some of the issues with it. So should be able to push this now. I did something wrong with the vertical. I did horizontal speed. We want V speed there. See, even I do that. Make sure that in the vertical push, you're calling script move with the vertical speed. Now this code won't work with more than one player object in the room. You would actually have to get access back to the original player object if you wanted to do that. This will only work if there's only one player object in the room, but the same concept could be modified to give you access to more than one player object. So there we go. Looks like it's working. We can push it. Now let's talk about issues with this. So we got a little bit of a that looks good. So here's the main issue with this code. The main issue with this code is it works with 2 blocks, but it looks weird with 2 blocks. So if we put 2 blocks in the room, our player tries to press or push 2 blocks at once, like this. It can, but it's kind of, the second block kind of blinks. It looks just a little bit funny. That's all. So there's the issue with it, but it looks like we can also get just a slight hair away from the block, not actually pushing it. I think you're supposed to do H speed divided by 2, what I originally said. So come into the push, and you see how we have plus H speed. Do plus H speed divided by 2 on both of these, and plus V speed divided by 2 on both of these. I didn't think you needed to do this, but I actually think you do need to do it, because you're only moving at a H speed divided by 2. So let's see if that fixes it. My original example doesn't do that, so I think that will fix it. There we go. Now we're nice and crisp right up against the edge of the blocks, and that looks really good. So there you go. Just something you might want to try on your own. The way that it is possible to make it so that you just can't push 2 blocks if they're right next to each other. Like if they're right next to each other like this, you just can't push them. Your character's not strong enough. That was a solution I found. It was a tricky solution. I didn't want to do a tutorial video on it because it was kind of crazy looking. And so maybe you guys will find a different solution to that problem. But this will get you started for a concept of how you could use pushing in a game. If you want your physics to be super realistic, then you should probably just use the built-in box 2D physics. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned something in this video and you're able to take something from it. I really appreciate you guys' support. My Udemy course, holy cow, It has been crazy. I've gotten tons of people signing up, and it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten really good feedback on it. So once again, second plug. If that's something you might be interested in, check out the link in the description for 50% off. The coupon's only good for a week, I think. So July 7th is when it ends. But anyways, like, favorite, share this video, and I will see you guys later.